Hello, thank you for joining Craig's Gun Channel this week. This week I thought we'd talk about firearm safety and some of the possible dangers that exist when you're shooting. In past videos I have made the statement that you should always make sure you use the correct ammunition, and of course you should always make sure the firearm that you're using is properly maintained and is in good working order. If a firearm is suspect, or if you're not familiar with it, make sure it's looked over and inspected by someone who's qualified to do so, and that it's safe to operate. Even when a firearm is perfectly safe, accidents can happen. Although they're not frequent, it is still possible. A firearm is a mechanical item. Mechanical things can fail. Ammunition can fail, or it can be possible, overcharged, overpressurized. There's occasionally recalls with ammunition. So always make sure you're familiar with the ammunition and the firearm that you're using. I have an example here. It's a .22 long rifle. The person who owned this, when they fired it one time, they thought it didn't seem to shoot quite right, and ever since then, it didn't ever seem to hold groupings very well. It was very erratic. He said it used to be a tack driver, but ever since whatever happened, it wouldn't hold a grouping. It would be all over the place. Well, I took a look at it for him, and what I found out was at some point there was something that got lodged in the barrel, and when he fired it, where that got lodged, which is about here on the barrel, the pressure had built up in the barrel enough that it caused the metal to bulge very slightly before it finally blew out the front. Ever since then, that bulge causes a loose situation in the front of the barrel, so whenever a bullet would go through, it would lose its stability, and that's why the accuracy was no longer there. In fact, this was no longer safe to use, so we replaced the barrel for him. And if you look closely, you can see where the metal was actually fractured when the bulge occurred. So a .22 long rifle, as everyone generally considers as a very small or low power rifle, it still develops pressures up to 20 or a little over 20,000 pounds per square inch, which can cause catastrophic failure to occur if something should go wrong. In this case, the person got lucky. It didn't completely block the barrel, it just blocked it enough to cause it to bulge slightly and fracture the metal. However, the next time it could have failed in the same area, and this could have possibly blow out and then cause injury. So you need to be careful. I have another example. This past hunting season, some friends of mine were out on their deer hunt, and one of my friends fired a shotgun, and as you can see in the picture behind me, there was a catastrophic failure. We're not sure what happened. He doesn't know if there was something that had gotten caught in the barrel, or if it was just a defect in the barrel or in the ammunition. They're still kind of investigating, looking into it to see what happened. But as you can see, this was a 12-gauge shotgun. Shotguns are considered a lower pressure firearm. However, there's still pressures of around 11,000 pounds per square inch in a shotgun barrel, and they can fail catastrophically. In this case, the entire front section of the barrel was blown apart, and it actually split the barrel, and it opened up in kind of like a flower petal. It all opened up around. Part of it came and it smacked his hand, broke his finger, and cut up his hand. Luckily, that's the extent of his injuries. It could have been worse. As it is, it still wasn't anything, was not a pleasant experience, and he did, sustain injury. So please keep in mind, make sure your firearms are properly maintained, make sure you're using the correct ammunition and that it's good ammunition, and still be careful. Accidents can occur, so always be prepared. Always make sure you wear your eye protection and hearing protection, and as always, just try to be safe. So I just wanted to share this information with you, mostly just so that you're aware that these things can occur, and I want you to be safe and enjoy the hobby. And as always, if you have any questions or comment, please send them my way. I'll do my best to answer. And until next week, be safe.